Here at CES, one of the big things that's going on is ag tech and how technology is changing the way we farm, the way we produce our crops in the country.
A tractor plows a field with no farmer in sight. Just AI, cameras, and sensors in control. John Deere's push for automation promised a farming revolution, but with angry farmers, repair restrictions, and an FTC lawsuit, has innovation turned into its biggest disaster?
This is a 9RX 830. It happens to be the largest production tractor on the planet right now.
It's pretty huge.
It's
I
pretty
don't think
big.
I've seen anything this massive before.
At CES 2025, John Deere made it clear that farming as we know it is changing forever. The company unveiled a fleet of autonomous machines designed to revolutionize agriculture. Among them was the highly anticipated 9RX tractor, a behemoth of a machine capable of operating entirely without a driver. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a complete transformation of how farming's done. Picture a vast field, the sun rising over the horizon, and a tractor tirelessly plowing away, except there's nobody behind the wheel. That's the future John Deere is selling, and according to them, it's not just about convenience, it's about necessity. With labor shortages on the rise and the demand for food only increasing, automation is stepping in to fill the gap.
To make repairs, even on equipment they own. But new laws are changing that, just as the principle of repairing rather than discarding has implications for us all.
This new wave of farming technology isn't just about slapping on a few sensors and hoping for the best. John Deere's autonomous machines are equipped with cutting-edge artificial intelligence, computer vision, and a network of high-tech cameras. The 9RX tractor, for example, has 16 cameras mounted around its body, giving it a full 360-degree view of its surroundings. These cameras continuously capture and analyze images, allowing the tractor to detect obstacles, assess terrain conditions, and make real-time adjustments to its path. And this isn't just a remote-controlled machine, it's fully autonomous, capable of making decisions on its own without human input. All of this is powered by an onboard NVIDIA GPU, ensuring that all processing happens locally rather than relying on cloud computing, which could introduce delays or vulnerabilities. For farmers, this means a more reliable and efficient machine that can work around the clock, rain or shine. While self-driving cars have been struggling to gain widespread trust, autonomous tractors are a different story. Unlike urban roads filled with unpredictable traffic, farm fields are controlled environments with fewer variables. This makes them perfect testing ground for autonomous technology. John Deere has been working towards this for years, gradually incorporating automation into its equipment. For generations, farmers have been able to fix their equipment. If a tractor broke down in the middle of a field, they didn't have to wait for a technician. They rolled up their sleeves, grabbed some tools, and got to work. But things have changed. As John Deere's machines become more advanced, so did the barriers to repairing them. The company's newer tractors, combines, and other farming equipment are no longer just mechanical tools. They're computers on wheels, locked behind proprietary software. That means if something goes wrong, farmers can't simply pop open the hood and fix it. Instead, they have to go through John Deere's authorized service providers, leading to longer wait times, expensive repairs, and a growing sense of frustration among the very people who rely on this equipment to make a living. The problem isn't just about convenience, it's about survival. Farming is a time-sensitive business. If a tractor breaks down during planting or harvesting season, every hour it sits idle could mean significant financial losses. But with John Deere's restrictions on repairs, some farmers have been forced to wait days, even weeks, for authorized technicians to show up. Many feel trapped, believing the company has deliberately created a monopoly on repairs, ensuring that only John Deere can profit from servicing its equipment. Critics argue that this isn't just an inconvenience. It's a direct attack on farmers' independence, forcing them into a cycle of dependency that benefits the manufacturer at their expense. The backlash reached a boiling point in recent years, pushing John Deere into damage control mode. In 2023, under mounting pressure from farmers, advocacy groups, and lawmakers, the company signed a memorandum with the American Farm Bureau Federation. The agreement promised to provide more access to repair tools and software, allowing farmers and independent mechanics to fix equipment without relying solely on Deere's network. At first glance, it seemed like a victory. Farmers finally had what they've been asking for, or at least that's what they thought. The reality, however, was much more complicated. Critics quickly pointed out that the agreement lacked any real enforcement. It was a voluntary commitment, meaning John Deere could walk away from it any time. While it did grant some access to repair tools, it still kept many functions locked behind software controls, requiring farmers to go through Deere-approved channels for certain types of fixes. In other words, it was a compromise, but one that many felt didn't go nearly far enough. By early 2025, the fight escalated even further. The Federal Trade Commission, along with the Attorneys General of Illinois and Minnesota, filed a lawsuit against John Deere, accusing the company of unfairly monopolizing the repair market. According to the lawsuit, Deere's restrictive policies not only harmed farmers, but also violated antitrust laws by preventing independent repair shops from competing fairly. The case sent shockwaves through the agricultural industry, raising serious questions about the future of farm equipment ownership. If a farmer spends hundreds of thousands of dollars on a tractor, shouldn't they have the right to fix it however they see fit? Or does John Deere, as the manufacturer, have the right to control how its technology is used? This legal battle could have huge implications, not just for John Deere, but for the entire right-to-repair movement. Farmers, mechanics, and consumer advocacy groups are watching closely, hoping that a victory against Deere could set a precedent for other industries as well.
People that like to rely on others.
We asked John Deere, America's foremost farm equipment manufacturer, some of whose Colorado dealers opposed the right-to-repair law.
Whether it's smartphones, medical devices, or electronic vehicles, the fight over who gets to fix what they own is becoming one of the biggest technology debates of the decade. For farmers, though, this isn't just about winning a political argument, it's about keeping their businesses running, their costs manageable, and their independence intact. John Deere has spent nearly 2 centuries being a brand based on reliability and trust, but as the company continues to push deeper into high-tech software-driven machinery, it's also creating a rift between itself and its most loyal customers. Farmers want innovation, but they also want control. Deere has a choice to make: double down on its current model and risk alienating the people who built its empire, or find a way to balance cutting-edge technology with the principles of repairability and ownership that farmers have relied on for generations. Autonomous tractors, self-driving dump trucks, and high-tech orchard sprayers might sound like the future of farming, but not everyone's on board. While John Deere's leading the charge into a fully automated world, many farmers are feeling left behind. It's not just the high price tags or the learning curve that comes with these machines, it's the fear of losing control over their operations. Farming has always been an industry where experience, skill, and human intuition play a critical role. But with John Deere's new technology, decisions are increasingly being made by algorithms, leaving many to wonder if they're farming the land or if the machines are farming for them. One of the biggest concerns is repairability. With older tractors, if something broke, a farmer could fix it themselves or call a local mechanic. With Deere's new autonomous equipment, that's no longer the case. These machines rely on complex AI systems, proprietary software, and remote updates, meaning even a minor repair might require calling in an authorized technician. That leads to downtime, higher costs, and a growing sense of frustration.
Deere is giving farmers the long-sought right to repair agricultural equipment on their own. The agreement follows years of lawsuits and complaints. Manufacturers like John Deere have used the argument.
Many farmers see this as an erosion of their independence, making them more reliant on the company's services rather than their expertise. The issue isn't just limited to the US. Around the world, farmers are raising their voices against restrictive repair policies. In Australia, where farming plays a huge role in the economy, the right-to-repair movement has gained significant traction. Local farmers are demanding new laws to force manufacturers to provide access to essential repair tools, arguing that without them, they're being held hostage by big corporations. It's a similar story in Europe as well, where lawmakers are considering regulations that would require agricultural companies to be more transparent about repairability and maintenance options. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.